How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. This is the Fat Munch, or sorry, the Fat Snorlax, and I have Meowie Fur. I see. Interesting. I swear I did not intend for this person to randomly start following me. But anyway, they started following right as the video starts. Let's hope they don't say anything too vulgar. Anyway, about this video today is going to be when a good time to buy treasure hunter keys. And when I say buy treasure hunter keys, that's really all about it's whether or not you want to pay real money for them or you want to pay in-game GP. That's really all up to you. I'm not really going to advise you as far as that. Although I would say if you don't have a lot of money in real life, then you probably want to use GP. But this is really just a helper just to let you know when a good time to buy. So anyway, right now I will show you a bad time to buy, and that would be, well, right this very minute. So if we go in here and we look, there's not currently anything going on. So when you have Treasure Hunter going here without any actual promo, it's really not a good idea to do it. And the reason why is because you're just going to get standard old rewards. Now, a good time to actually do a Treasure Hunter promo is going to be during one of the better experience promos, or during a promo for like one of like the master sets. And my master sets, I mean like where I'm wearing right now, like the master camouflage set. It did take quite a bit of keys to get this. I think I spent about 200 to 250 million worth of keys in order to get this. I bought those in-game wealth because I do have quite a bit of money in game. Yeah, except lots of money in game, not too much money out of the game. Haha. Anyway, so this was totally worth getting because, as you can see, this gives you a lot of bonuses. There are multiple sets that give you bonuses. This is the thieving one. There's one for divination. There's the which is the chronicle set. There is the shark set, and sets like those that are going to give you things. I do not recommend spending your money on keys during a time when you're going to get like a skilling outfit that is just a standard old skilling outfit. That would include the nimble set and the fletching set. Even though those were cool when they came out, they're like painfully easy to get now. And if you really haven't been getting them, it's probably just because you haven't been doing like the stuff like Vic the Trader and everything. It was actually very, very easy to get pieces of the sets from Vic the Trader. And you can also get them on the Treasure Hunter itself now. So it really would honestly be a total waste of keys unless you were planning on maybe doing that skill right away. But even at that point, the amount of XP you're going to be saving from a 5% boost from a skill set, a standard skill set, if you're going for 120, you're going to be saving yourself roughly 5 to 5.2 million EXP, because that's how much more that. If you're doing that much experience and you're wearing the set, you can kind of imagine it's going to cut your time down by 5%, right? Because it's giving you 5% more, which makes the skill suits, the regular skill suits, roughly about 5 million EXP if you're going for 100 million experience, or 10 million EXP if you're going for 200 mil. So even if you are doing that skill right away, it's still barely worth it, especially if it's a faster skill. Like say there was a regular. Yeah, let's see, what would be a good example here? Okay, say they come out with a fire-making suit that gives you 5%. Fire-making is already stupid fast. You can easily get 650,000 experience an hour if you're not AFKing fire-making, which means that you're basically going to be, if you're going for 100 million experience or 120, and that's all you're going for, then you're basically going to be saving yourself one day of work. If you're spending like 100 million gold on keys just for one day, yeah, I mean, unless you just have a lot of money in the game, that's really not a good idea. It's not really efficient, honestly. So I would recommend waiting for like the master sets or stuff you just can't get anymore. If they come out with stuff in the Treasure Hunter that you're like, man, it's really cool, and they're not going to have that anymore, then that's a good time to buy keys also. So besides your items, the other good times to buy Treasure Hunter keys is going to be during like a Prismania, or like the lanterns, or sometimes even smoldering lamps. If you do Prismania, then doing smoldering lamps right after that's going to be pretty useful, because you'll be able to bust down that bonus experience you got from Prismania into actual EXP with using the molten lamps. The smoldering lamps. So those are both pretty good. Also, if you were around for the rune crafting slash summoning thing, where they basically just gave you an insane amount of summoning or rune crafting XP per hour, that was a really good time to buy keys because that basically was right around 30 GP per EXP as far as the cost of buying the bond itself. But that's kind of how you want to calculate it if you're trying to figure out if it's worth buying. Then maybe like calculate the cost. So figure out the cost of a bond. Say the cost of a bond is like 12 million, and then ask a whole bunch of people. See how much they usually get from one bond during that promo. And if everybody's like, oh, I got like 300,000 experience, then you can tell it's going to cost you about 40 GP per EXP. Doing that math there, 12 mil for the bond, getting 300,000 experience. So that's really not that great. But if you hear something more like, oh, I got 600,000 experience, and then it's still only a 12 mil bond, that's actually really good. That's 20 GP per EXP, and 20 GP per EXP is really, really good in terms of buying treasure hunter keys, because you got to remember you're not really doing anything. Like, you don't have to grind that skill. You can just like buy the bonds, cash in the keys, click the lamps and everything real quick, and just get the EXP instantly. That is well worth 20 GP per EXP. That's going to cost you about 2 billion gold for a 120 skill, or 4 billion for a 200 mil skill. Now that may seem incredibly expensive to a lot of people, but for the people who do have the money to spend on that, as far as in-game GP, if you're trying to get 200 mil in a skill, and say it's a skill slow like rune crafting or something, and you're able to buy from, like, whatever level you have, 99 to 200 million in like one day from buying keys at the cost of 4 bill, that is totally worth it. Because in the amount of time it would take you to grind rune crafting on your own, you could easily make 4 billion gold. If you don't know how to make 4 billion gold in that amount of time, please refer to my money-making methods, or you can also look at my Patreon channel, or my Patreon site in the link below for some really effective ways of making more money. Anyway, guys, that's going to be about it. So in general, just weigh out, whether or not it's worth it to buy some keys. I know a lot of people that buy keys during some of the most pointless promotions, and it's just really not worth it. Like the farmer's set, everybody was buying keys for that. I was really confused why you would do that, because 5% EXP for farming really does not matter. It's kind of good, but it's really not good for that much money. Also, a lot of people were buying keys for like the season stuff. It's also kind of pointless, because if you're going to spend 150 million on keys to get something, you could just go buy it from the GP for 40 mil. That doesn't make any sense to me. But alright, guys, if you have any more questions about keys, or want to make some comments or whatever, remember, these are my own opinions. If you guys have different opinions, you're totally entitled to have your own opinions, and I would encourage you to nicely share them in the comments below. But that's it. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe, smack the like button, and I will see you guys next time.